Good afternoon, YouTube. It's the Box Truck Guru. Go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel. It's still a new channel, so I only have one other video, but if you haven't checked that one, I'll go ahead and check it out. But I got a good one for you today. We're going to be talking about early access and what it really, really means and who does it really benefit and why. So from birth, really, we're taught that you do the good, you do something good, you get rewarded for it. Whether it's you get all A's in school, you get you a PlayStation, or you get older, you got a car. So Amazon is taking that thinking and come up with this system here. Hey, you do good, keep an ace score, you're going to be rewarded with early access, and that's what they drill into your head. So people are thinking, oh man, got to keep my early access, which you do want to keep your score, but early access is not for the carrier, and is not for the carrier at all. It's really made for Amazon. What they've done is they've gotten inside your head to make you think that what you have is actually gold. So you treat what you see as gold. So we'll explain that. When you have early access, that gives you the ability to see loads out and to book loads into the future. So you can plan your whole week in an afternoon. You can see loads and book your whole week. The problem is early access, the loads don't pay any money, but you as a new carrier, you think that they are because you see them, you have something good, and you're allowed to look at every load. So when you're scrolling and you see loads for Monday, you naturally book the load that's paying the most money for you, whether it's the most total payout or the rate per mile. But usually those rate per miles on early access, it's about, in Atlanta, it's about $2.07 a mile for a trip that's going over 200 miles. For something shorter, they usually will start off at about, maybe 220 a mile. So with that being said, they give you that option to book these loads, and you see the money and you see the days run out. So you go ahead, because you're thinking, oh, if I don't book this now, these loads aren't going to be here and the truck's just going to sit. That's what they want you to think. So you go ahead and book these loads for a whole 7 days. You don't book loads for $400 each day, because that's the highest total payouts. So you have $2,800 gross. That's what you're gonna make that week. You've capped yourself because you booked all your loads in advance. Now, Monday comes along, you have more experienced carriers who early access doesn't mean anything to us. So if we're gonna book loads, spot work off the load board, we're gonna be looking later. Okay, we might start looking at, I might check the load board out at 5 o'clock just to see what's on there, see how many loads for the day are gonna be on there. It kind of will tell me how I need to go for the night. So then, I'll have posted my truck on there, which tells Amazon, this is the total payout I want. I want to go no less than 75 miles and no more than 230 miles. And I want $3.30 per mile. And the minimum amount of money I'm going to take is $600. So now Amazon has to match that trip, and it'll book it for me, or book those trips for me. So, or if I'm going spot work and we're looking at the load board, and you have loads that, it may be 7 o'clock in the evening, whatever time, and you're looking at loads that are leaving out at 2 a.m. So you basically about 6.5 hours for that load right there, that particular load, to go up. At that point in time, you may be paying $550 at 7 p.m., which is okay. But like I said, you got hours for it to mature and make more money. So by 12 o'clock, what do you think that load is going to be worth on that board? 685, 700. I know it's going to be, I know you can get it for over $1,000 if it's going to be about 30 minutes before pickup time. So that's what you kind of want to do. You want to watch the load board and let the loads mature. You don't book loads early. That's how Amazon makes money. You got to remember, there's like 80 boxes on each pallet. And you putting 12 of those on your box truck. You may have a Gaylord with 1,000 pounds of envelopes. That's a lot of money that people are paying in shipping. And you're going to let Amazon chump you by paying you $350 to take all that to the post office. And that's if you think about it, you look at them Gaylords, that's a lot of money in there in shipping. It's a lot of money in them boxes. And you're going to let them chump you for $300 because you think early access is something good. You can have it. Just know how to use it the right way to look at loads into the future. You may want to take these loads. You want to see the route for these loads. You want to be able to plan it in case you book it. But you don't want to book it a week out in advance. There's more reasons than the money. That's how a lot of people are getting rejections. You book a week's worth of work, all of a sudden, your truck breaks down or something. I don't know. I had an instance a few months ago. I was changing my oil and I ordered a new oil filter, and they said it was going to be at the store. I could pick it up at 3 o'clock. I went there in the store, or I went there at 5, and O'Reilly's Auto Parts was closed. So I had already taken the old filter off, drained the oil, so I couldn't get another filter until the morning. So I couldn't work that night. But if I had booked a whole week's worth of loads, then I would have had to reject that load right there because there was no way I could take it unless I just rented a truck, borrowed a truck from a friend of mine. But don't put yourself in that position. Don't book a week's worth of work and you end up having to reject 2 loads, 3 loads, your score drops, you're all depressed. But like I said, early access, use it the right way. It's not for you to book $400 loads a week's worth in advance. If you're booking $400 loads and your truck runs 7 days a week, that's only $2,800 gross. Fuel is $5 a gallon for diesel right now. So you're telling me you're gonna risk $1,000 to $1,300 in fuel, in money, to put fuel in truck, and you're only making $2,800. If you're putting 13, that leaves what, $1,500. You ain't made a truck payment yet. You ain't paid yourself. Nothing taken out for taxes, insurance. You've taken that $400 load, and all you've done is either reach your cost or you fell below them, and you lost money. And nobody's in business to lose money. So don't take cheap freight. That load's $400 a week early. You should be getting that load for $1,000 because they can pay it. And you will see come Prime Week, peak season, when there's a lot of freight going out and Amazon starts calling people with good scores. But that's the reason why you want to keep your score good, because they'll call you and you can negotiate your rate. But don't take the $300-$400 loads, because those loads are you can get them for 3 times what they pay. And if I can make $900 versus $300, I'm taking a $900 every day. So let the loads sit and mature. Let them keep lighting up in green. The money keeps going up, and you sit there and watch, and then you book the loads. Don't book the load. Don't even book loads 5 and 6 hours out, because you're just leaving too much money on the table. leaving too much money on the table. And with that, that's my video for today. But I want to leave you guys with a pro tip, pro Amazon tip. And that is tip number 1 for today is get to know your logistics specialist. Get to know the guys behind that desk that you check in and check out with. Get to know them, get to know their names, get their phone numbers. I make sure I got all my names, their telephone numbers, and their cash apps. Because they're going to be able to do a lot of things for you, pull a lot of strings and favors. You use them the right way, and then you want to shoot them a little lunch, a little dinner, show that appreciation. They'll do anything for you. Trust me. That little $50 you send them, worth 1,000 that you're going to get back, or saving your company with lates. They'll be able to check you in, things like that. Done it several times for drivers. So that's number 1 pro tip. Learn your logistics specialist, become friends with them, kiki with them, laugh with them, but become friends with them, because they're going to be able to help you out immensely. And we all know we much rather help a friend than help a stranger. So, YouTube, I'm out.